Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone is fine, doing great, right? Let me just share my screen. Anyone having any doubt with our last or previous classes? Hi. Okay, good evening, everyone. Okay, just make sure that you mark your attendance. Okay, submit your assignment. Assignment is really easy. You should, try, practice it, run it, and submit it. Make sure that you earn certificate at the end of this boot camp. All right. Before that, we start just a small recap. Okay, just tell me who was the creator of Python. Just tell me in the chat section. So how many have you seen Guru Websum? Have you seen? Let's check. Kama, who created Python in in the late 80s, right? Everyone knows this, right? And he's released Python for general public in Feb 1991, right? Everyone know this. Just make sure that you are practicing it, right? So everyone is clear with operators and how to perform these operators, right? Then we discussed about data types, and there are different types of, we can store it as a string, as an integer, as a float, as a list, tuple, range, dictionary, set, Boolean, okay? Boolean type is there, none. Sometimes we need to store none. We can do that also. So anyone having any issues regarding these data types? After that, just tell me how many of these are mutable? How many data types are mutable? Yesterday I told you. How many of these data types are mutable data types? Name them in the chat section. Yes, list, sets, and dictionary. We covered the controls statements, if else, elif, right? We also covered loops. So let's just begin with a small a project so that we can, get more understanding of these statements so that we can perform it. Okay, so I'll be doing this as a fresher who has little basic knowledge of all these statements that we covered. Okay, so if you want to, if everyone, everyone would have known this game. This is tic-tac-toe. or everyone knows that how to play this, right? Anyone who's not aware of this? Everyone knows, right? Everyone knows how to play tic-tac-toe, right? So we will try to, you know, build our system so that two players can play and they can win it. Okay. Let's see how many stages will be there, right? So first of all, we need somewhere to store our values, right? So let's just start. So we need a data type which can store duplicates. It can change the value, right? So there's, and it should be mutable also. So we need something uh, from list, sets, and dictionary. Dictionary is keep value pair, so we don't need this. Sets do not allow duplicates, so the set is also not helpful for us. And list is definitely for this project, so we will try initializing list. Okay, so this is our first variable. So earlier I have shown you how you can initialize list, right? So we will just do one thing. We will take asterisk sign to represent our graph, okay, on the dashboard of tic-tac-toe. Let's just say so there are 9 values, so we need to type 9 times. Three more, okay. Make sure in this bootcamp you need to complete your assignment to earn certificates, okay. So these are 3, 3, and 3. Okay, this is good. Everyone would get to know how we are going to build this one. So you know that this is a one dimensional, but our board, the tic-tac board, is two dimensional. So we need something that can help us in representing it into two dimensional. So what we can do is we can just take list within the list. Okay. So now let's check. It is performed. Now we want, now second stage is we want to display, right? So for that, what we will do, we will use a function to display our dashboard. So what we will do, we will print our this, let's say, let's just check the print list. Okay. So it is printing it, right? But it is not printing in the format that we want. Now we want it to print it in such a way that it should look like a this tic-tac board. Okay. For that, what we will do, we will use for loop. Okay. We know for rows, let's say row in list 1. Now we can print rows, right? it look like. See, now it's look like in 2 dimension, but we need little more accuracy, right? So we need something to, this is, a pretty good representation, but we don't need these commas, these brackets, okay, these quotes, okay. So we just need to remove these also. So what we will do, we will just run one more for loop based on column, so that this is column 1, this is column 2, this is column 3, okay. So in rows, now let's just print, our values. Now we just print it, right? Now you must have seen that it is printing in such a way that we don't want it. Now what we need to remove, this print statement, but this print statement is not, what we needed, because it is printing vertically. We want it to print horizontally. So what we will do, we will use our end parameter and just do this thing. Now, see, all are printed, but we wanted 3 at a time, right? So what we can do, we can just print empty. You can just print empty print statement and see what happens. Now it is printing in such a format that what we are looking for, right? Now what we can do, we want to make this little, it look should be, a little better. So what we can do, we can just pass spaces, right? So we can just pass 2 spaces so that okay, we can, put some space it in between these values. Let's just run it now. Now you can see these are printing in such a format. Now what we want is, we want it to be printed. We also want that row number and column number should also be printed with these, right? So what we can do, we can just take a variable. Before that, let's just print columns, right? So let's just say 1, 2, 3. But value started from 0, right? 1, 2, right? So now all these have spaces in between, right? So we can just use separator parameter and pass double spaces. Okay, and it should be in next line. Let's just print it now. Now you can see there's one difference. It is printing ahead of our dashboard. Now we wanted this to be shifted. What we can do, we can just add spaces, right? We can just add spaces before that. Now just see. You can just see that it is somewhat up to the in the exact same places. What we can also do is, we can just do one thing. See, we don't need it now, right? So on now we want little spaces in between. That now you can see how what are the different ways we can use print here. So we are learning the different ways of print statements. We know how we can use for loop, right? So we have used nested for loop here. Now, so we can just do one more thing. So initially it was by default single /n. Now we have introduced. Now see what happened is I have missed this comma. Let's just run. Now there is a space in between. Now let's just print values here also 0, 1, 2. Now where we can use we should use some row variable, okay, equals 0. It should start from 0, right? Now we want it to print row, okay, and it should have end. We don't want to break the line, because we wanted this in right place. So let me just do one thing. Just change the color, okay? Let it be right now. We want rows to increment. So this is the plus operator. We want to increase by 1. Now see what just happened. Int is not iterable. Why? This row and this row are, these both are stopping one another job. So we just do one thing. We will change the name. Now let's just run it. Make sure that you are getting these points, right? So now this is the column number on the top, and on the side these are the row number. Simple, right? So we can just make this thing under one program, one function name. You can just give a name, display, and we can just pass. We can just pass our list, and now we need to make our blocks. So we want all this shifted. So what we will do, we will select all of these and press tab. So it will come under this display. We also want, sometime we want it to color itself. So we can just make some color. Let's just do all this in blue. So this is something that you don't need to do, right? I just want it to look a little better. I have these values, it will work here. So I have completed it, and now if I run, let's just see what it is going to print. See, something is wrong now. What just happened? It is printing, but it is not printing what we wanted. Okay, we mentioned a wrong name. So it took the input display, right? So change it display underscore. Let's just rename it. So now we know that our dashboard is created. So you are learning what you are learning by doing this. You're learning how we can create function, how we can use for loops within for loops. Okay, how we can use different variable and operators, right? So all these we did in our last classes. Any question regarding this? Any doubt in this function? Do let me know in the chat section. Now, next task. So we are completed with this one. So now what is our task? We need to insert their choices. So what we will do, we will take input from our players. These numbers, I just do one, I just did what? I just use this for loop. I just use for loop and I just use a nested for loop. Just what? So what this row is going to get? This will get first row. Okay. Then this first row is being passed to second for loop. And when this is going to run, what column will have? It will have each access to each element of that particular row. So what is good? What is happening here? So once this whole list is passed in first row, it is divided into three rows. Like this is the first row, this is the second row, this is the third row. Okay. Second, when this particular row is passed to for loop, second for loop, it will print each element one by one. And at the end, we removed /n so that it should not be going to next line. Okay, so that's what I told you in the starting when we were starting, right? So I just showed you how a fresher, how new person who is new to this programming language, and he knows how for loop work, how operators work, how we can create function. It is very easy for him to create this display function, right? We have created display function. Now we want players to enter their values. So let me just assign two variables x. We will take input from our player. So input. Now what we can write here, input our row, enter row. Okay, this is the first thing we will get, but this will be in the string format. We need it to be converted to integer, so we will typecast it using int. Now we want second input from user y that will tell on which column he has told us which row. Now we want which column he wants to make changes. Okay. So these two are right. So these two are the inputs that we need from our player. Now, how would we know which player is playing at the moment? For that, we will need a control statement. We will use if statement here. Okay. So we want player. Let's say P is the first player. Let's say 0. Okay. Now if P double equals 0, it means, let's say just print player with notation X, is playing right now. So just player X turn. Okay. Player X. Okay. And if else player O. Okay. Now if we run this, just check whether this is working or not. So it's playing with player X, enter the row. So we just entered 1. Player 2, let's just say play column 2. So what we can see, there is there's no gap between. So we will just give one space so that one can have a sense of difference between value and the printed statement. So this is how we can use our if how we can make a player to enter their values. Now we want it to once it is he has entered the value. Now we want it to change that value, that particular value. So let's just say we again need if condition now. If P double equals 0, right? For any new one who would see that now which player is playing right now. So if 0 means X. If it is not X, then it is not 0, then it means player 0 is going to play. Okay. So now we want it to change the value in our dashboard. So what we will do, we will just change the value of list. And how we will change it? We will to give X, this is our row. We'll give Y, this is our column. And if it is 0, then value will be X. Right? So now we want to change the value of P. P plus equal 1. We just change the value of P. Else, now, if this is not the case, if now what we want the same condition, but here we want in place of X, we want O. Okay. We are going very slow and you are guys learning it. So make sure that you are following the exact same pattern. Okay. At the beginning, this is what we, as a beginner, we need to tackle, write all these steps one by one. Once you are experienced one, we don't need these all steps. We can just skip. We can directly give direct statements and it can run. We can even give all these if else statement in one liner also, right? So for now, you are new to this language, so we'll go slow and steady. Okay, so let's just do one thing now. Once the chance, the player zero has, the player O has inserted the value. Now we want it again to go back to player X. Right. Now we did this. So now from here till here, what we are doing, we are just asking user to, the player to enter their values, right? Now let's just see. Now, for how long do we need this to be run? Unless any one of these player has won the game, right? So for now, let me just do one thing. I'm running this for n times, right? So right now I don't know when it is going to end. So I'm just doing for now. Okay. We'll change it later. Okay. So I just did while here and I want all of these to come under this while. So I'll select it all and press the tab so that it comes under this while loop. So how long it will take, you know? So, okay, let's just do one more thing. While we are running this, can we just do one thing? Can we just display our chart one by one? Okay. So I'm just displaying our chart here just to, make it little appearing. So let me just run it. First, let me just get, okay. So now player X has to enter the value. Let me just enter 0 and 0 comma 0. Okay. This is, now you can see the value of 0 row and 0th column has changed. Now you can see that it is again asking row for player X only. So there is something that we have missed. We can just go back, terminate our cell and just check what we are missing here. So it was 0, right? Any doubts till now? Just tell me, in the chat section if you're having any doubts. What was the mistake? The speed should be, once it is repeating, it is again assigning it to 0. So it should be outside the loop. So equal to 0. Now let me run it once again. Now for make, just to make this full screen, what we will do, we'll go and select this and here view output in full screen. Okay, just to make it a little better. 0, 0. Now you can see the X value has changed and it is asking for player 0 now, right? So if I give values, like if we want to change this value, okay, 1, enter, 1, enter. Now you will see, that this value has changed, right? So we are doing good right now. Okay. Now, what will happen now? We have used this while loop, endless while loop, so it will keep on asking. Like if I press 2, 2, so it has just stored X here. So it will keep on asking, even if everyone is filled, right? So even if it is every one of these are filled, even then it will keep on asking because our while loop is endless. I have just written true there. So what we will do, we'll go back to chair. Now you just see one thing. Now, so many of you would feel, what is this, right? Means why I have written this one, like list x bracket y. Now let me just give you a small how can so this is L1 1 comma 2 comma 3. Okay, so I have run this one. Now if you element and want single element, how you can access it, you can just go type the index of that particular element. Let's say I want element 2 here, so this index is 1. Once I run it, it will give you element 2. Now what I did, this is a 1D array. It does not contain it is single, it does not contain 2D array, 2D list. It is not 2D list. So to make that, what we will do, we will we will get the list inside list. So now you get this. Okay, so I have within list, right? Now if I print 0, what will it give? It will give 1. Okay, 1, 4, 5, comma 6. And now I want to access, let me just run this time. What's this? Now it has given the first element. For now, the first element is this one. This is a complete single element for this particular list. So now one thing, now this is again a list. So we want to access element of this list. So what we will do, we will again check with the square bracket and ask for the index number. Let's say I want the index number of 1. So if I run this, we will get 2. Right? So this is one will tell you the first list, and this is the second list. The same way we have used a list, and in that same I have used I've used this particular list to be assigned a value, right? So let's just do one more thing. We are we are you know so we are missing with one thing only, that is how we can check whether any one of the player is winning or not. So we are missing the condition to check which one of the user or player is winning. So we need to check this after each insertion of row of values. We need to check whether anyone has won or not. Okay. For that particular thing, what we will do, we will go and let's just say we'll try to build a for checking who's winner. Okay. And we'll pass p as a value, and p will check tell this function who is playing right now, right? Whether x is playing or o is playing, it will just tell that only, and we have to pass list. So now, so there will be multiple conditions, right? So first condition would be whether these all three are same or not, right? For that, just do one thing. We will take a if condition. This is for first condition, that all of the first row has been obtained by a single player. Okay. Uh, so first row means 0, and first row of the element is again 0. Now we want this to be equal to this, right? The second element. And again, what we can do, we can again check if all of the threes are equal or not. But we need to make sure that it is not equal to, not equal to means it is not equal to the base condition, that is S string. So let's just do one thing. We will print player. So the value here will be the player, right? Now is winner, right? Is winner. Once we are clear with this one, what we need to return some value, right? We will return true. Okay. Before that, what we will need to print, uh, the display, the dashboard. So what we will do, we will just call that particular function, display function that we created earlier. Okay. We can just directly use /n here. Okay. Just wanted to make sure that it looks little different. I have red. So I have the value here. Now what will it do? It will return false. Okay. Else it will return true. Okay. So we have placed only one condition. In similar way, we can check all of the conditions, right? So we are going to just run this one for first row only, okay? And we will call this in place of true, okay? We are passing P, we are passing list one. Now, what just happened? Oh, so there is some error. We have not mentioned return. So, and one more thing, need to assign this value fresh, so that it should clear every time it is played. Let me just do it full screen for you. Okay, so player X is going to run. So let's say 0, comma 0. So he got the first place. Okay, now second one is running for 1, comma 2. So he has second player got this location. Now again 1, 1. Now just see, this X has acquired both of the positions. Okay. Now player 0 is still working with, is going for this place. Okay. So it's 1 bracket 1. So now again, the player X is playing. So it's 0, comma, column is 2. Now you can see player X is winner. You can just see that all are running, right? It's just the simpler way we can just get more understanding of control statements, right? How the function works. So make sure that you guys are practicing it on daily basis, right? Anyone having any doubt relating with this, uh, you can conditions. We just made one condition here. You can create multiple conditions. This is the first one. You can create one more with Aleph condition, right? You can start with this, right? Let's say, and you can just pass it. Okay. So there are multiple ways we can use these control statement. Now, anyone having doubts right now, just do let me know in the comments related to whatever we have covered in this bootcamp. Just let me know. Okay. And make sure that our full stack program. Let me show it to you. We have data science program, full stack data science program, and full stack web development program, right? So you are going to learn a lot more there. It will be a AI based, ML based data analysis will be there. There you will get to know, you will do 15 projects, one capstone projects will be there, right? You will get a lot knowledge. You will also get the placement support here, and prices, it's very less. You can just check it out. Make sure I'll see you there in the full stack program. I will be performing all kind of control statements. You will get to know more about SQL there. You will ML technologies will be there. You will get to know more about AI technologies, right? So there are a lot to know. uh, what this offers. It will offer you weekly personal mentorship. You can ask question, get cleared it, live session, right? It's a live session, you can attend it. There will be only 15 to 20 students in one class, right? So with Zoom or equivalent platform, you will take all the classes. Just I told you, right? So 100% job placement support will be there. Before you leave your college, you will have your job in your hand. So you will need to practice a lot. Make sure that only practice and your dedication and consistency will make you get secured with job. Second thing is this program is affordable, right? So you are investing a very it's true triple eight. It's like 2884 per month. You can choose EMI option also. Also, if you register right now, you will have to use this referral code. Okay, you will get 20% straight discount. You know, so it is offering a lot more, 100% live, right? 200 hours plus of learning, live doubt clearing session. Okay, and also you will get certification from this is national skill development from government side, and also the ITM group of institution. You will have 6 month 7 to 10 hours week learning, one-to-one mentoring, right? So you will have, like, I'm there, you can ask questions straight over there. You can get, you will experience something, how you can learn while while developing with projects, right? Learning while doing the projects makes a lot difference. 100% job placement is also there. You can just go and check the website. You will still, there is a job of icon. You just click there, check how many jobs are there. You can apply over there, right? And get your job in your hand. Also, there is referral program. You can refer it to your friend and earn up to 80,000 gifts, gifts of up to 80,000. It's pretty good to learn, invest your time here, learn something fruitful. So I have learned a lot last 5. Okay, we'll see you later in our programs. Okay, have a good day. Bye bye. Take care.